with your hosts, Pickle and Egbert. Today we're discussing the book, The Nightwalker by Belinda Hermits. So now it's time for Pickle and Egbert Show. Hello, and today on the Pickle and Egbert Show, we're discussing The Nightwalker by Belinda Hermits.
I'm Pickle.
I'm Egbert. So how are you doing today, Pickle?
Fine. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Now, so what did you think about this book?
Well, see, I like this book a lot. My favorite part was probably the surprise ending when she discovered she was also a sleepwalker, just like her little brother Poco. I was also surprised when I found out the fishermen were setting the fires to all of the shacks in Shackleford. This book really kept me on the edge of my seat. I just couldn't put it down.
I agree completely.
Really?
Yes, I do. The Nightwalker was an extreme adventure through a period of time when TVs weren't common and money was hard to come by. I just can't even imagine how excruciatingly painful it would have been to think that your sweet little younger brother was causing mass destruction to Shackleford when it was actually your very own father and his fellow fishermen setting the fire to their own camp.
That must be hard.
Oh, I know. Don't know how they lived through it.
Well, so now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story. Well, Pickle and I will tell you a little about the story of The Nightwalker by Belinda Hermits. This book was a journey through Breach Island, North Carolina in the mid-50s. The main character, Savannah Guthrie, a 12-year-old 7th grader who lives on the shores of Breach Island.
There were many fires on Shackleford, and no one knew who had been setting them. The fires were set to fishermen's shacks along the shoreline. When Savannah asked her father who's to blame, he replied, "The Nightwalker, maybe. That's who my Indian ancestors would have blamed for that kind of mischief." A Nightwalker is an Indian legend, which is a person's spirit who walks around at night.
Her little brother, Pocuston, a.k.a. Poco, was a sleepwalker. He was a very bad one at that. He was always up in the middle of the night, walking around outside, inside, wherever possible. Then one night, she wakes up to find him missing. Again.
That's when she suddenly comes to the dreadful conclusion that maybe, just maybe, Poco had been setting the fires on Shackleford. She is scared and doesn't tell anyone.
The next day, a family moves in next door. They have a daughter, Savannah's age, named Mary Jean McWilliams. Mary Jean and her family are what Shackleford call ditdals. Ditdals are city people. The girls become friends very quickly, even though this is only a weekend house for the McWilliams. When Mary Jean is there, they spend every waking minute together.
Be nice to have a friend like that.
Oh, it'd be awesome. I've got one.
There are even many more burnings on Shackleford. That's when the FBI agent comes. He's asking around about anything they might know about the burnings. Savannah is very nervous because she believes Poco's doing it. So she becomes very apprehensive when he starts asking her questions, and so she ran.
Then, over winter break, Savannah gets lonely for Mary Jean because she's staying in the city for Christmas. That's when it all happens. One night, Savannah wakes up again to find Poco missing. She sees him walking out the door, so she gets on her clothes and grabs a blanket in case it gets cold and takes off after Poco.
She sees him going up the fire escape to Mary Jean's room, so she follows. When they get there, Mary Jean's room is in ruins. There are broken things falling apart everywhere. Poco lays down in Mary Jean's bed, and Savannah lays down in the other bed that's in her room. Poco then gets up, leaving his hat, and walks back down the fire escape. Savannah is then suddenly confused. What had happened, she thought. She didn't even know where she was. She then realized she was in her pajamas in Mary Jean's room. Why, she thought. That's when she realized that she was the sleepwalker, not Poco. Then she smelled the flames.
Wow.
Scary.
That'd be very scary. Well, Savannah took off for downstairs to see what was happening. She saw that someone had started a bonfire in Mary Jean's kitchen. She looked past the flames and saw Kinky Fulcher. Kinky Fulcher was a boy in her school that had a crush on Mary Jean. She yelled his name and he took off for the door. Except it wasn't the door. It was the pantry.
Oh, that kinky.
I tell ya.
He is.
Kinky. Good one,
Yeah.
Tickle. Well,
secret.
anyway, silly.
Let's go.
She realized he was setting fire because to Mary Jean's house because Mary Jean had made fun of him in front of everyone. Then Savannah said that she was going to tell the police that he was setting fire to Mary Jean's house. Kinky then made her remember it was her right against his. That's when Kinky and Savannah's fathers walked in.
What would you do?
I would die. Whew.
Kinky's father took him out back to their house while yelling at him the whole way. Savannah's father then told her that it was the fisherman, not the night walker, who had been setting the fires. They had done that because the government had been taking all of their fishing land. Savannah was now a local hero.
Wow. You know, that was a really great book, Pickle.
Yeah, I agree totally, Egbert.
I just love it. It has to be one of my all-time favorite books.
Me too. Ever. That was like,
It was great.
loved it.
Well, because it was one of my all-time favorite books, I give it a thumbs up.
You know what I gave it? I gave it a thumbs up too. And
Well, you know what that means. 2 thumbs up. Well,
That's about it.
looks like we're out of time for today.
The Pickle and Egbert show is coming to an end.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of The Pickle and Egbert Show. Next week, we'll be discussing the book Perlu the Bold. So join us next time for The Pickle and Egbert Show.